Remember when I did that 16-hour challenge the other day? I kinda did it again. So this time it's an 18-hour study challenge. It was from 5:30 to 6:20, and then I continued from 6:50 to 12 a.m. The reason why I stopped at 6:20 is because I was fasting that day, and I wanted to break my fast at 6:27. So I had 7 extra minutes, even though I left a bit earlier because I finished my exercise for that chapter like 5 minutes in advance. But I still count it as part of my study schedule because that's what I planned. And I woke up late. I was supposed to wake up at 4 something and then start studying at 5, but instead I woke up at 5:30 and I couldn't like eat before fasting, but I decided to fast anyway. And it wasn't that bad. Like I wasn't moving around, so I wasn't thirsty. I wasn't like hungry. I mean, I was hungry, but I wasn't thirsty, and that was the one that mattered to me the most. It really it was better than I expected lah. I expected to like die off in the final few hours, but I was able to stay up. I didn't feel that sleepy, but I do feel sleepy today, and that's why I'm not studying until like around 9. I think I said that in the later video. I mean like the clip later. So once again, the challenge includes short breaks. So that includes praying, that includes texting my friends, that includes watching a video or two for like 10 minutes. But I didn't rest for over 30 minutes, and I didn't like leave my study mode. What I mean by that is I didn't like actually tell myself I'm gonna rest and not think about studying. I was doing physics books the whole day, and honestly, it wasn't that bad actually. I mean, I didn't get enough sleep today, so that's why I'm studying a bit later. Like I haven't studied yet for this day, and I don't think I'll be studying for 10 hours today. But it's not that bad. Maybe it's because I don't have tuition, but at the same time, I always include extra classes and tuition class. No, I don't have tuition. But I include extra classes and I include like those seminars in my study schedule because that's to me, studying, as long as I'm not playing games and not watching anything else. If I'm in my study mode, that means I'm studying. That means I can count into my timer. So in total, 18 hours. It could have been 18 hours and 30 minutes if I included my 30-minute break, but I went to break my fast because I was fasting that day. And I basically just did something else for 30 minutes before I went back to studying. And I did finish a bit later, like at 1 a.m., but that was because my friends were saying some random ass stuff in the Discord call while I was doing it. So that's why I finished at 1 a.m., but technically it was still 18 hours lah. So yeah, I'm just gonna talk over it. But hope you enjoy. Hello, so it's 6 a.m. right now. I woke up at 5:30, which is like 30 minutes late from my schedule. So I have to add another 30 minutes to my time, which means I'm gonna be done studying by 6:30. But I'll make it 10 minutes earlier because I have to break my fast. I didn't get to eat this morning, so I'm fasting without eating and drinking at all. But it's okay. I'm gonna just go on. But I guess that means that I have to only rest for 30 minutes after everything is settled. So I'll probably like continue a bit earlier than I should. Like I'll finish at 6:20 and continue at like around 6:50. So I'm able to get my 18 hours. But yeah, it's gonna be a tough one. But I think I can do it. So it's 10:42 right now, and I just finished chapter 4. I'm a bit slower than what my plan was, but I expected that because there were some chapters that had a lot of extra exercises, like chapter 4, the heat chapter. There were 2 essay questions, and when in chapter 2, there were a lot of objective questions. So that's why I'm a bit slower than what my schedule was. But I purposely made it like that because I knew that I had extra time at the end. Right now, I designated that final hour and a half of me studying to continue doing my physics document, but I don't think I have time for that, which is fine because my plan was to finish the book anyway and not actually do anything more. I just wanted to have like something extra to do after I finish the book. But I'm only 4 chapters in. I might end up like doing it faster than expected after this, but We'll see. And I'm downstairs right now because I felt really bored staying upstairs. Um, yeah, I feel a lot more refreshed here. I can't use it like at night because my mom sits here and does her extra work over here. But since she's working right now, I can just come down and take the seat for her. So yeah. So I'm sure like some of you may be wondering what is gonna happen to this channel. Honestly, I don't think I can like teach everything. Number one, because I don't really have enough time to like go through each chapter specifically one by one. But also because I don't really have the equipment to do so. Like you know how my iPad works, it records a bit later than the screen. So like when I'm saying something, the iPad does something else. I hope you understand. Like when I'm writing something else, I'm saying something else, and I just don't like it, and I don't really have anything else to record my stuff with. So I'm not really motivated to record videos right now, but I will try and do other things. Like for example, I would want to learn how to like talk in front of a camera more. I'm gonna try and like give tips, but not like teach. More like give tips on how to study, on what to study, and so on. And I don't worry, it won't be like very generic tips. I'm gonna try and tell you how I study and how you should implement it. I'm not saying that you should be like me, because we are different people, and my ways of teaching or my ways of learning may not apply to you, but I can try and give you like a way for you to realize how you should go with things, like how you should do this, how you should start studying this, should you make notes, and so on. It all depends on you, and honestly, I am not the best person to teach you topic by topic. If you want me to teach you anyway, you can hit me up, Discord, Instagram, WhatsApp, and I will find a time to teach you that certain topic. I will, trust me. But I don't think it's worth for me to teach every single subject. Maybe I will do for sejarah, maybe I will do for chemistry, physics, but biology, not really. At maths, I'm not so sure. I just don't think it's worth your time. I don't think it's worth my time. There are many other YouTubers that do the same thing and they do it better. But what I noticed was someone that I kind of looked up to shouted me out and like consider my channel as a good channel, and actually that kind of motivated me. So I'm gonna try and make some videos, but I'm gonna make them more helpful, make them shorter, and make it so it's not boring ba. Because I noticed that my videos are boring, and that's not really mainly because of me. It's more because of the chapter itself. But I can try and do, as I said earlier, I'm not gonna like actually teach. I might just give tips on how to study, what to study, and how I study. I'm gonna talk about more about myself and less about the book. That's the long story short lah. So I really hope that all of you understand. By the way, if you're wondering what I did this whole day, I only did 2 physics books. So I was doing the Gerak Gempur physics book, the one by Sasbadi, and the reason why I chose that book is because there are a lot of model questions in SPM format. I don't like DSKP. If you don't know what DSKP is, it's like one of those like what's it called again? Mind maps. DSKP is full of mind maps, but I personally do not really like mind maps. It's good for a lot of students, but it's not that effective for me. I prefer bullet form. I prefer flashcards than mind maps, to be honest. So that's why I prefer doing model papers, like model questions, instead of doing DSKP. But if you are better at DSKP, then I would recommend you to do DSKP as well. So yeah, I've been doing that the whole day, and I was able to finish it by 1 a.m. But I would say that if you do not have the time, do not study for too long because it will ruin your sleep schedule. For me, I can still handle it because I have to wake up early anyway to sembayang. But I noticed that I'm very sleepy during the next day and I don't feel like studying anymore. So again, as I said in the last video, don't do this too much because it's gonna tire you out. Your mental health is better It's better if you do things consistently. And the reason why I suddenly did 18 hours is because I have been consistently studying for 10 hours for the last few days. And I want to try something new because it was getting boring for me. That's why I did 18 hours. And today I'm going to take a break. But tomorrow I'm going to continue studying 10 hours a day. Yes, you heard that right. 10 hours in a day. I have been averaging at least 10 hours a day for the past few days because I don't really go out of the house that much. Except for today, the day I'm recording this, I went out of the house to Sembahyang Jumaat. So I'm gonna take a break day. I'm gonna play some games and relax after doing 18 hours. Like, who wouldn't take a break, right? So I'm still gonna study. Don't worry about that. But it's good to take a break sometimes. Don't get too hard on yourself. It's 5 p.m. now, and I'm currently at Form 5 Chapter 2. So I have 5 chapters to go before the day ends. English class wasn't that, like, there wasn't much that was done because I already did the listening test before. So I didn't really care about the class anymore. And also the accounting class that I was supposed to have got postponed. So that means I have all the time to finish my the book before 12 a.m. And I have 5 chapters left. I think I can finish it in time because chapter 7 isn't that much. But at the same time, chapter 3, 4, 5, and 6 are some of the biggest chapters in physics. So I might take a little while. But yeah, see you in a few hours. This last part of the video is going to be me talking about some tips. The first tip that I would like to give is make sure you have a consistent schedule. Do not study 10 hours, then rest one day, then study 10 hours, and then rest one day. If you want to do like 18-hour challenges, then of course you need a break lah. But don't do, be consistent. Maybe it's okay to do 10 hours and then rest one day, but I prefer it if you do 5 hours per day instead. Because it gets you in the groove, and the best way to keep yourself in the mood to study is to actually study first. What I mean by that is, if you already start studying, you won't feel like ending it, you get me? Like, it's easier to continue to study after 2 hours than it is to start studying for 2 hours. Like, for example, when I wake up in the morning, it's easier for me to study from 7 to 11 than it is for me to study from 9 to 11. I hope that makes sense. Like, if you do not think of like, maybe I should do this later, because because if you're gonna do it later, you're gonna waste a lot of time. So it's better if you go, okay, I'm gonna do it now, and then I'm gonna stop when I'm tired. So you will realize that maybe you'll get tired after like 4 or 5 hours, and that's good because you already studied enough. Do not try and keep delaying and delaying and delaying, because that is just a waste of your time, and you're going to lose a lot of precious time. Because remember, masa itu emas. And yeah, just don't procrastinate too long. Maybe if you need a break, then take a break. Everyone needs a break, but don't make your break longer than it should be. Secondly, I will also want to emphasize on 2 model papers, SBP and Mara. That is what I heard from a YouTuber. And the reason why those 2 are good is because, number 1, the question set are quite hard, and the best way to score in SPM is to do questions that are harder than SPM. So that way, when you take the SPM paper, you will be like, oh, I know this because I've done something harder than this before. If that makes sense. And it really works because I've heard tuition stories where my friends go to this math tuition and the teacher gives like very, very, very hard questions and they get like fail. But then when it comes to exam, they get 80, 90 in their maths papers. And I'm like, wow, this teacher is very good. Even though they get bad marks in the tuition exam, they get good marks in the school exam because they did harder questions. And same goes to SPM. And also because the questions set by those SBB or Mara people are most likely going to be questions set by teachers who are actually doing the SPM paper. So keep a lookout on SBB papers and do as many as possible. I have the maths and admaths one right now, but I might consider buying biology and chemistry as well. And other than that, I might just talk about it in another video. So anyways, thank you for watching.